I did like your little fortune thing there that says you'll be successful at everything.
Yeah.
I got one not too long ago that basically told me I should pleasure myself.
Really?
Yeah, I took a picture of it. It was on my old phone, and I lost it.
There's a fortune
But-
cookie message that told you to go pleasure
Well,
yourself.
yes and no. It,
I
it basically
imagine
said...
your perverted mind just took it that way.
Well, no. It basically said... You know what? Let me see if I can get it. It said... I don't know if I have it on here or not, because I know when they transferred everything to my new phone.
I gotcha. Well, I guess while you're doing that, I will introduce us. This is Jay and Mark number 23. I am Mark, and this is Jay, and yeah, welcome to episode number 23.
Peace. Oh, wait, no. We're starting. Sorry. Never mind. Fudge.
So, this is a fortune cookie message that you actually got in a real fortune cookie when you
Yes.
went and got Chinese
We
food.
go to Katana all
Okay.
the time.
You got it from Katana.
And they always give us fortune cookies, and I think they actually know us now enough that when they seat us, they always bring Kenzie a fortune cookie right away because they know that she loves them.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't remember the exact wording. It's not on my phone anymore. I don't remember the exact wording. I sent it in a message, so I'll have to find it, and I'll text it to you or something.
Cool.
But
what did it say is what I want to know. What did it actually
I don't remember
say?
the exact wording, but basically it said stop. Something about stop waiting on other people to make you happy, and basically take it into your own hands. And I interpreted that my fortune cookie was telling me to masturbate.
No, all you had to say was the beginning part, and I knew exactly where it was going, and I knew exactly what happened and exactly why you thought that.
Right.
Now, you applied it to
Yeah.
something you complain
I'm
about
pretty
constantly on the
and
show.
I'm pretty sure
and I'm sure we don't need to get back into it
the
anymore.
fortune cookie was dead on, is all I'm saying. It was telling me, okay, it's time for you to
No, I
do
think
it yourself.
I think that's why the fortune cookie still has such value, because it does have some pretty convenient occurrences. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get Chinese food, and you may be going through something's, very specific in your life, and then you get a very generic message from a fortune cookie that you just apply to it. You know what I mean? Like, it could apply to anything.
I just found it because I sent it to,
Nice.
like I said, and I always send them because I get them all the time.
I save significant
It says,
ones.
why not treat yourself to a good time instead of waiting for someone else to do it?
No, I see. So you were instantly that clicked in your head, but it was like, exactly.
I'm supposed to go home and jack off.
So just jerk off more is what they're telling you.
Do it myself.
All right. Well, I guess that'll lead right into what I want to talk about, because that is right along the same lines, and then that's going to lead into another a very relevant social topic.
Okay.
But first off, I read an article the other day about a college student, girl, 20-some-year-old, can't remember her name. She is facing a year in prison for masturbating in a college library, the library. I don't know if it was a college library, but it was a library. I assumed it was because she was a college student. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess it could have been like a public library. But masturbating
Either way, it's public.
on a webcam, like for somebody.
Yeah.
Like probably a boyfriend, or maybe she's a cam girl to make some extra money or something. But she's facing a year in prison for that. Now, what I'm leaving out is she wasn't caught in the act. They found her. This video was seen by somebody, and not only that, but now it's all over the internet. Like, I'm gonna look it up. The article I found it in.
Now, do you think that she's getting in trouble for what she
For like public indecency.
Well,
or
I guess I'm not sure how to say
masturbation?
it, but like, I mean, people do this every single day. You know,
Masturbate in public?
well, yeah. If you,
No, I mean I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying, is that what you're referring to?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they record it and they post it on the internet. Do
Yeah.
you think that because
this is like a thing? It's like a fetish.
yeah,
Porn.
do you
thing,
think
kinda.
because somebody recognized her and was like, "Oh, I know her," and then it got around that they're trying to just make an example and they're going to throw the book at this chick rather than going after all the other people that do it? That I'm sure somebody recognized. I mean,
they're making an example of her. Yeah, that's
Right.
what I think. Because I mean it's not a new thing. I've watched some videos like that where I was just
Yeah.
like, oh shit, and you know, being a guy, you're just intrigued. I mean, even women probably are intrigued by that. I was like, really? And I'll tell you right now, I watched the video of her doing it just to see how
yeah.
how it all played out and how she did it and stuff. And she's hot. I mean, she's not not bad looking at all.
No, not at all.
But I mean, she did everything they said she did, and she didn't get caught at all. She did it very
Discreetly.
yeah. And this is like a 30-some minute video that's released on the internet. Like, it's in this article. You can
Wow.
watch it. But it says this is an article by Brian Abrams.
That's JJ's.
It
brother,
is
ain't
on. Yeah. What the fuck is this called?
Well, anyway, while you're looking at
It's
that,
an article on deathandtaxesmag.com. The Death and Taxes magazine website. It's entitled "Student May Spend Year in Jail for Masturbation Cam in College Library." There you go. And like I said, and in parentheses, not safe for work, which they attach the actual video to it. So I guess if you want to see the video for yourself, it's out there.
I know I was listening to the radio. This was, I don't know, probably a year or so ago. And remember Mo on Q92?
Yes.
I loved that guy. I know a lot of people thought he was just a jerk, but I loved Mo. But anyway, he told a story about, there was another story similar to this about somebody getting in trouble for doing that, but it was for one of those like pay websites where the girls are actually being paid to do this stuff in public.
Yeah.
And he said he dated a girl years ago when he was not like real young, but I think he said he was like in his 20s probably.
Yeah.
But she would go, like, I don't know, I guess she didn't drive or whatever, but he would actually drive her to a place and drop her off, and she would go in and do that.
Real quick.
And then,
Like almost like doing a job real quick.
right, and then she would come back out with her laptop, because she would literally take her laptop in with her to wherever she was going to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And then she would come back out and she'd go, "This is how much I made." And he said she made like $1,500 to $2,000
No, in
just
this,
during that show, because there was so many people watching it at the time and paying to watch it.
Actually, honestly, that's probably what happened
Yeah,
here.
probably.
Because that's exactly what she did. She walked out holding the laptop, like it was the end of the video, like me leaving. Like, yes, almost like it was proof to be like, look, this was legit.
Right.
And maybe the guy she was doing it for wasn't a boyfriend or something. Like, but the article says in Corvallis, Oregon, I think that's Corvallis,
Oregon.
Corvallis, Oregon. A 19-year-old is facing a public indecency charge that might put her behind bars for filming herself masturbating in the campus library of Oregon State University. It says Oregon State Police charged student Kendra Sunderland on Tuesday after obtaining footage of her video, which shows Sunderland flashing and mooning the camera several times and touching herself. The video was taken in October on the 6th floor of OSU's Valley Library. She was a student at the time of the video's production, though now, as the Smoking Gun has indicated, which I guess is a news source, she is not currently enrolled in classes. Now, whether or not she's not currently enrolled in classes because of this, I don't know.
She either graduated or probably got expelled.
Now, this was... That would mean that this happened at least several months, if not a year or so, before she was actually charged.
Yeah.
Now, they obtained it later. Obviously, that's what they said. The police...
It had to have been a woman that turned her in.
After it said, police charged student Kendra Sunderland on Tuesday after obtaining footage of her video. It doesn't say who
It was probably a woman.
released it.
I don't know of a dude that would report that kind of thing.
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't. If I went to that college and if I recognized that girl, I'd be like, oh, I know her, but I'm not going to turn her in over it. You know what I mean?
yeah. It says, editors note the video below has been widely circulated, and while not technically classified as hardcore porn, is still highly explicit. You've been warned, American workforce.
So it actually shows the video. I mean, is
Oh,
it
the
censored?
video's no, it's the actual video, like the full thing. And
Please hold.
hey, dude, it's 30 minutes fucking long. I'm not gonna show you I'll show you some of the video, but that's her, and this, you can watch the whole fucking video.
Yeah, she is hot.
And I mean, I'll skip through so you can see, but like, she does all kinds of stuff in the video, like all kinds of stuff.
And those are different outfits, so this is different times.
Well, it's not different no, it's all one long thing. She just took her shirt off, put her hoodie over it, so she could easily flash the camera. But it's just like watching a cam video, and she just flashes her boobs, her ass, and then takes her pants like all the way down and masturbates for a few minutes. Like, she knew she was doing something illegal. She knew it, because the whole time she was watching her ass. Like, she was very, very like
Could you imagine though, if
aware.
there was any kind of delay at all on that video, and she's trying to watch it through the screen on her computer, like watching behind her and everything, and then all of a sudden she just sees like the librarian or something standing right behind her, and she's like,
well, it was,
oh, shit.
you saw the quality of the video. It was a decent camera. It wasn't HD or anything, but it was probably one of the more better standard definition webcams. It was probably on her laptop, because she's moving it like
the screen,
it's the screen. But I mean, I don't know. I know she committed a crime. She should definitely face some charges. But it was a victimless crime. You know what I mean? I don't think she's gonna get a year, but you never know. They might make an example of her.
Yeah, I don't know that she'll get actual jail time. I'm sure she'll get fined. She'll be expelled from the school for sure.
Oh yeah, if she's
and
not already.
She'll end up having maybe like a probation or something. But I mean, you know, whatever.
The thing I question, I really want to know how the police obtained the video, and if it was like a revenge thing or whatever, and how long it had actually been when the act was actually committed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's one of those things that, like, you can't. Well, I mean, maybe you could. It all depends on how you do it. But, like, you can't find a video of somebody, like, smoking crack or something, or smoking weed or something,
and then report it
and
after
then report it afterwards, and them get arrested and be charged. Like, unless like there was some other criminal act done in the process. Like, I don't think that's even possible. Like, so.
Well, she'll get, if
like,
she
she
gets
wasn't
charged,
even caught. No harm, no foul. Basically, is how I see it.
And that's kind of how I see it. But they're probably going to give her some sort of indecent exposure in public.
Public indecency.
Yeah, she'll be expelled from school.
I just feel like there's bigger fucking fish to fry than some hot girl making a couple extra bucks in the library that nobody even saw.
Right. Well, clearly everyone's seeing it now, but...
Well, yeah, but I mean, in the time, she didn't, like, some little kid didn't walk in and it didn't traumatize some lady or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's not, like, she was caught because some, you know, prudish lady was in there and just made a big huff and puff about something, you know what I mean? Like...
Right. Somebody
saw how many times have they caught kids probably having sex somewhere? Like that episode of Friends. Remember, like, where Ross's book is where everybody fucked?
Yep.
So he thought, like, that was a really popular section or whatever. But whatever. That shows my age and how much of a loser I am, because people get made fun of for liking Friends. But I watched Friends, damn it.
So did I. I loved Friends.
Yeah, but, you know, like... there's bigger...
No, there's definitely bigger problems, but...
And it could have went all that way. I guess, you know,
it
bad things could have happened.
It could have. And I'm sure that any guy that might have noticed her doing that in the library at the time wasn't going to say shit.
No, they probably would have just sat there and creeped her out to the point where she left and stopped.
Right. She was probably reported by some woman.
Or they would have taken advantage of her, like blackmailed her or something, depending on what kind of person the guy was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then again, she might have just had that I don't give a fuck kind of attitude. And
well, she obviously didn't give a fuck because she was looking around,
right,
being very careful.
And if she's... I would imagine she was doing that for money on some website somewhere.
I would, yeah. I'm thinking it's like a way for her to... She's probably paying her way through college or something. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
She probably made a whole bunch of money off of that, and she probably just doesn't give a fuck.
You're
I mean,
well,
I'm sure she gives a fuck now because she may be looking at jail time, which I doubt she is. But, I mean, that's like if I go outside and take a piss in the yard and a cop drives by, he's going to write me a ticket for indecent exposure. I'm going to have to go to court, and I'm going to end up paying a fine. It's
really?
kind of the same
Even if
thing.
It's on your own property?
Even if
someone could see your dick, it's indecent exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
So what if, like, I was in my backyard pissing in the corner and the cop just came walking around my corner? You know what I mean? Like, nobody could see it.
You're in public with your genitals
I'm not in public,
out.
though.
Well, you are.
I'm outdoors.
But technically, you're in public.
I'm on private property.
Yes. Okay. That I don't know.
That's
but if you're in public, so I would say public property, and you whip out your wiener and take a piss somewhere, and a cop happens to see you, he will stop you. He may arrest you.
Oh yeah.
But chances are you're going to get written up for a ticket and have to go to court.
I don't know if it was on Always Sunny or it was a character he played in a movie, but Charlie Day, the guy who plays Charlie on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know if it was like Horrible Bosses or whatever movies he's been in, but I think it was Always Sunny. But he's technically a sex offender or like a pedophile or whatever because he took a piss on a playground at night, an empty playground at night, and he was caught by the cops. So like that shit like ruins people's lives.
It does. And
you know what? In a way, is going to ruin this girl's life.
Yeah, it does. And they will give you that title over some dumb shit, like taking a piss on a playground in the middle of the night.
I just watched a TV show. Oh, no, on Orange is the New Black recently. There was a guy who, oddly enough, it was a guy they were telling, but it fit in with one of the storylines of the female characters. And there was a guy who was labeled a sex offender, and this girl was coming to his house to whatever. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Orange is the New Black. I'm not going to say any character names or whatever, but this will probably ruin it. Well, if you watch it and like put it all together. But she went there to like get him to sign a petition of some sort, and she was bet $50 that she couldn't do it because he was a pedophile and whatnot like that. Like basically, it was like if you even go there, basically like whatever. She made a bet for $50,
right?
And she went there to try to get this guy to sign the petition, and you open the door, and the guy is just a normal dude. Like, he looks a little... They gave him a mustache. Like, he only has a mustache, and he's clean-shaven otherwise, so that kind of gave him a creep feel. They did that on purpose. You know what I mean? They gave him that, like, pedophile mustache look.
Right.
And the girl's, like, real nervous the whole time, and he knows exactly why she's nervous. Like, he asks her how old she is before he even comes in the house. He's like, look, you shouldn't even be here. But, and he's being very, very careful. You know what I mean? And
right.
You can tell that he knows she's... You just get that vibe, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she goes in there and she's talking to him, and he's just like, the petition was like stop Walmart from doing something or something, and she tells him why, and he's like, look, you want to know what I did? Or she said something about it, and he was like, no, it's even worse than that. What if it was even worse than that? Blah, blah, blah. And this is all beside the point, but she... basically, he's like, you want to see what I did? And he goes to walk away. He's like, no, really, you don't need to do that. And he, like, grabs a newspaper, and he shows her, and it says, couple caught having sex on the beach, blah, 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 blah. So basically, he was labeled a fucking sex offender because him and his wife or girlfriend at the time or whatever were having sex on an empty beach. And the guy, there was a perv filming them, and the perv turned him in.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, like, shit like that. I mean, that's a fictional story, but I'm sure that's not far-fetched.
Right.
I'm sure that's happened before. People were labeled sex offenders. It fucked their whole lives up.
Yeah.
They have to walk around to everybody in the neighborhood when they move to a neighborhood and actually announce that they're a fucking sex offender.
Now, I've heard that, but I've never actually heard of that actually
That's never
happening.
actually happened to me either. And, I mean, you can get online and there's like things like, are there sex offenders in my neighborhood? And they'll show you like on Google Maps where sex offenders live and stuff. And like, I'm sure I've lived in a neighborhood where there's a sex offender.
I know they send out cards. Like if somebody moves into a neighborhood, I have
gotten one of those.
They'll send out cards. We got one. It was actually just after we moved in. Jen and I moved into the house we're in. We got a card saying that, like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 blocks.
No, when I lived in Madison,
up the road.
But he never came to my house and like told me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then again, if I didn't know you, or I thought maybe you were a Jehovah's Witness or something, I didn't answer the fucking door either.
Right.
I mean, they rang the doorbell. I was up in an apartment inside of a house that was like an old mansion that was like diverted to a bunch of different apartments, and like they literally just a bunch of doorbells outside for each apartment. And they would just ring my doorbell, and I would just look out the window and ignore.
Ring my bell. Like, ring my bell.
You look menacing and or irritating. I don't want to talk to you. But I also question how the video got out. Did they release? Was it like officially released as like evidence or something? I doubt it. I mean that they didn't blur her face or anything. Like
then again, maybe that's
like public shaming.
Then again, maybe that's how. Okay,
maybe that's how they obtained the video.
Maybe that's how the police got the video. Maybe
because if it is a cam thing, anybody can rip that shit
right
as it's happening.
And maybe it was somebody that recognized her and was like, "Shit, I went to school with this girl. I know this girl." And then maybe ripped the video and then emailed it to somebody and was like, "Dude, check it out. It's so and so." And then that dude's like, "Holy shit!" And then he sent it out, or maybe somebody posted it on their Facebook or something or whatever, and then all of a sudden it just went everywhere, and then the cop was like, yeah,
perhaps. I mean, maybe, or it was an ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that too.
I mean, everything about her doing it for money or something was all speculative.
Maybe an ex-boyfriend had it and a new girlfriend found it and was like, fuck this bitch, I'm gonna blast her all over everywhere. And then she did it.
If that's the case, karma's a bitch, lady.
Yeah.
I just feel bad because, like, the girl, honestly, she was having a good... That's what makes me think it wasn't for money, and she was doing it to, like, satisfy some guy she liked or some dude she's dating or whatever. Because she seemed really into it, like, in the video. And, like, she seemed like she was genuinely excited and was, like, it was something that she enjoys.
Yeah.
Like she was getting off on it.
Or maybe she was getting off on seeing cha-ching, 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 all these people paying money to come in and watch it.
Yeah. Well, even then, that's even more like... Because maybe, you know, your professor's a fucking perv and he's actually watching that. Like, that is
maybe
that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true,
I don't know.
too.
I guess maybe I should try to read or follow up on it. Because this was a couple of days ago. Maybe there's some new... maybe we'll have some updates.
I'll tell you what. I'll follow up on it. Don't worry about it.
I bet you will. You'll probably go home and watch every fucking second of that video.
All 30 minutes of it.